days a week, 40 to 60% of your VO2, or your heart rate 55 to 70, 150 minutes per week. So you have to break that down to how you would do that. That could be in 3 days, or that could be 7 days. That could be you literally just walking, right? If you just do the math, you can figure it out. They're just saying, just be active. I don't do a lot of cardio at all right now, but I'm active. I guess I'm always standing. I walk around, and I walk downtown on my little scooter. Like, I mean, I'm moving. It's not like I'm never sitting down on the couch. So brisk walking, it says, like, just be active. Do less like escalators and elevators, maybe walk some stairs, but that can help fine. So things like that. But then at least 3 days a week, for 75 minutes, you need to go a little harder for your VO2, 60 to 70% opposed to 40 to 60. So now you're talking about jogging or running. That all started with ACSM book in the 70s. They were the first people to come out and say, if you do 3 times a week at this intensity for 30 minutes a week, you will lower the risk of heart disease. People didn't do that until remember chapter 1? We were talking about the Nike guy, Phil Barrowman. Yeah. He wrote the book like called Running. That was in the 70s. Like people didn't run in the 50s or 60s. They didn't have running shoes. They had PF flyers and the Converse. If you ever see like the Sandlot.
Yeah.
Remember his?
The what? When he gets the black ones.
Yeah.
Outruns the dog.
Because he had the Converse, but then he shows up the PF flyers. But they were basically just Converse.
Jumps over a fence.
They like no ankle stability. Yeah, he jumps over the fence, gets the baseball, and the dog chases him for like an hour. But like no one did that. Like there was no like outfits for working out, like dry fit stuff. Like people didn't really do that. If they did lift, they just lifted weights and no one knew what they were doing. So that was like so unfamiliar. And then eventually they were like, people need more cardio. No one's really working out. There's now more sugars and stuff in the diet. Being introduced, those kids cereals. That was even back then in the 50s and 60s. Like they had, it wasn't as abundant. There's no 1,000 stores around like we have now, and no Amazon that come to your his door and all that. So people back then they didn't understand any of it. It was kind of gradually, I'd say, in the 70s up until I would say this past decade, where it's shifting again from like there's less jogging and there's more like HIIT training. That's kind of recent, the HIIT training. People weren't doing that either. Even females. I mean, guys were females did not really lift weights. If they did, it was real simple stuff. I did not see females doing barbell anything. They were on the cardio machines, they were doing abs, and then it was just, even as a young trainer, when I first started, they just wanted arms, some back, whatever the bikini was showing is what the girls want. Like, the back muscles for a dress or a bikini, arms and abs. I didn't see any of them now. Now they're doing weight training. They called out and they're like, we should do some like squats and lunges and bench press. And it's like a good thing, right? Yeah, but it's just, you see this shifting. Like, I wonder 10, 20 years from now if it's going to all change. Some new thing out, or here it's back doing cardio again. Weights are not good for you. Until you show weights are bad for your joints or something. Everyone's just training